So it's been a rough couple of days here. So I've had some physical and sort of mental, sort of emotional difficulties. But that led me on to an idea for a video, and I didn't want to go into depth about, you know, what I've been going through. I'm sure you've all got stuff on your own plate, but I thought there's so much technical information on YouTube about playing the guitar and what gear, and don't get me wrong, I love all of that stuff. I love learning new things and I love playing around with gear. I mean, who doesn't, right? But it gave me another thought. Why am I playing this instrument, you know? Why do I come in here and sit down pretty much every day and spend, you know, normally several hours playing, and often, you know, not improving from time to time, you know? And it reminded me of sort of watching videos from various really good YouTube guitar people, and thinking about, you know, what their sort of tips and things. You normally get, like, you know, 5 ways to improve your playing or whatever it is, and, you know, it can be so prescriptive. And obviously, you know, a lot of that stuff is really helpful and I take it on board, but one thing that really gets me is the too much used phrase of don't noodle, you know, stop noodling, because if you noodle, you will not improve. And I thought, I just think that's BS, personally. But let's go back a step, you know. It made me think, why do I play the guitar? I mean, when I was younger, I played the guitar because I thought it was cool, and I, you know, get a hot girlfriend, and that I'd be, you know, a cool, you know, gigging musician, have a band, whatever. I mean, for most of us, life doesn't really turn out like that, and I'm perfectly happy not touring around the world and things like that. You know, I love my family life and everything like that, so I don't have any regrets. But, you know, you do get moments where you think, God, you know, I could have done something or been somewhere else, or, you know, and is it my fault? You know, did I not do the right things? But what's your motivation for playing now? You know, if you're sitting at home playing like me, what's your motivation to improve and to learn new things? You know, it's just about self-satisfaction, right? And feeding your soul. For me, that's important. And yesterday I was feeling particularly low, and I started to noodle, you know? I started to play around, and lo and behold, an hour later, I felt fantastic. You know, I've been watching Tom Bukovac videos. He has this homeschooling thing, which was started during coronavirus, and you know, he's probably the sort of guy that I wish that I was, you know, like really gruff, cool, doesn't take any shit from anyone, you know. I love it. He responds to some of the sort of negative comments just with basically a big F you. You know, if you don't like what I'm doing, you can go somewhere else, sort of thing. And I'm hoping that as I get a bit older and go through, you know, more rough times as well, that I'll develop that sort of thick skin. But he was talking about how, you know, if you're into playing the guitar, you should be into playing the guitar and not about the gear, you know. That you can sort of spot someone who walks in with their flashy guitar and all of that, and you know that probably not going to be very good at it. And I was thinking, you know, that was a little bit unfair on most of us who are not working session guitarists and incredible musicians and just fantastic and could do it for a living as well. You know, he was talking about how, oh, you know, I've only got my 2 1958 ES335s and this 62 I think he had as well, and his Marshall Plexis, he's got 3 of them. But how about it's not about the gear? Or how you mustn't talk about the gear. And I thought that was a bit rich. But anyway, I love the guy, really. I love his channel. So you should go and give that a watch. But it got me thinking, what is my motivation and what's your motivation, and why shouldn't we noodle? You know, honestly, if you Google some of the top YouTube guitarists, you will see like that they've made a video about not noodling. So this is me as a tiny YouTuber who's not got anywhere yet, saying no, I think you should noodle. And why is that? Well, we can't all express ourselves using the guitar as beautifully as some of the top players out there, frankly. We may never be able to. So we should be happy with our little piece of the puzzle, you know? We might get past beginner phase into intermediate phase and be stuck there forever, no matter how hard we try. So I definitely condone focusing your practice when you have the time. You know, maybe 30 minutes a day or every other day, however you can fit it in, and really repetitively going over stuff and teaching your fingers and also learning some theory. But on the other hand, if you want to turn on your amp set it on your favorite setting, get one of your favorite guitars out, put some pedals on, and just muck about. Why should anyone stop you? And you shouldn't feel bad about it. For me personally, some of those times where I noodle, I actually realize what a technique that I've been learning is for, how I can use it, and I feel like I've got better through that, and it is a bit like practice. I mean, you can be really severe. Tomo Fujita, who's a great guitar teacher, he has his own guitar wisdom course that I actually use sometimes, and he won't even let himself use vibrato during practice. And I thought, but I don't want to play if I can't use vibrato. It's not that I don't want to practice, but I don't think my practice is going to take me onto a stage or into a recording studio or to be a teacher. So is that really relevant for me? I just love looking at my guitars, turning them on, plugging them in, turning the amp on, and listening to the sound they make. And if I can improve slowly and surely, I'm happy with that. So to bring up a down day through noodling, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So I just thought I'd play whatever I came up with yesterday, just for a couple of minutes. You can like it or not like it. I'm going to try and develop a bit more of a Tom Bukovac attitude about things. This is what I'm playing, and I'm sure loads of you out there are playing much better things, but this is just what I'm doing. So there you go. I think you should noodle more, and I think you shouldn't feel bad about it, and you should enjoy it. So let's see what I've come up with. There you go. That's what I was feeling like basically yesterday. Just sort of sentimental, and like I've been overcoming some challenges recently, and I'm sure so many of you feel like that, whether it's just because of COVID-19 or other things. And I think this is not just about guitar either, is it? It's about how we choose to spend our time, and whether we need to put so much pressure on ourselves to actually reach this sort of level that we're thinking about. this abstract sort of idea of, you know, I'm going to get this good and I'm going to practice this much and I'm going to get better and better. And, you know, I have whole weeks where I can just practice in a focused way, and that's great. And I do get better normally. And I can read about theory and watch loads of YouTube videos that are a bit like self-help books and not think too much about gear. And then I have weeks where I turn the guitar on and all I want to do is noodle about, play what I want to play, buy a new pedal on the internet, try it out, think about gear, whatever it is. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say is you do what you want to do, and I'll do what I want to do. And let's not forget, though, that there are some great YouTubers out there giving us great advice, and I love them for it. But this is just my 2 cents. Anyway, if you want to follow a new guitar YouTuber who's maybe not as good as the rest, but, you know, trying his hardest, subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. That would be great. But otherwise, back to normal, more positive and gear reviews and guitar reviews, amp reviews, all of that sort of stuff in the next one. Cheers.